I think we're recording. We are. Perfect. So this is going to be a video comparing the Behringer Xenyx 1002B portable mixer with this, the Yamaha MG10XUF, brand new in the box. I wanted to make an upgrade strictly because there have been some issues with the mixer, which I will come to in the comparison video. It's going to be an unboxing and comparison video. We're going to be strictly using the Xlr SM7B. It's going to be plugged into the DBX286S processing rack. It's going to have absolutely nothing on it. We're going to turn off the EQ. We're going to turn off everything. But I'll be showing you what's the chain currently so that you have a really good understanding of how this is all being recorded. Let's switch cameras so you guys can see this. So I'm on my phone here. So currently, we are running the 80 Hertz. It's very blurry. I apologize. I sadly don't have an autofocus on my phone camera. Just know that this is the 80 Hertz high pass filter. We're going to turn that off. We're going to bump the gain, and we're going to turn off the processing chain. So there's no EQ, no gate, no nothing. And at around just past 3 o'clock, that's the gain that we have set up currently on the DBX. We also have here the mixer. So Sarah, I'm gonna do my best to describe what each knob is so that you and what the heck is going on here, because the camera is blurry and I can't change the focus on the camera. For some reason, it just won't let me do that, and I apologize. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 XLR in. We do also have RCA in or line in on this channel here. And then for each of these, the first 2 channels strictly have these like mic pre's that are apparently very, very low noise. You can plug a stereo, like a balanced cable in from like an external processing unit, which is like what I'm using. And you can have that plugged in here. You can also just use XLR if you're just going to plug in, let's say, the SM7B. You can plug in a microphone, and this does have up to plus 60 decibels of gain. So it should be able to power most mics, but from my experience, it's pretty noisy. We have only line out. We don't have Xlr out, so that's a very, very big trade-off for something that's as compact and small as this. Each and every channel does have a simple 3-band EQ for your highs, your mids, and your lows. We also do have an FX send, which is the red, I think, or is that the? Yeah, that's the FX send. I think is the it's orange. The FX send is the orange knobs, and the red knobs are like this mono send monitoring send, so you can send them to your studio monitors. Besides that, that's typically the most important portions or parts of this mixer. This right here is my mic, and you can change the pan. This right here is my piano. Just gonna turn it on so you can just hear a little bit of that. Oh, I have to put the fader up. Apologies. So you can get line XLR and whatever on the channels. These 2 though are very low noise, and then these 3 are just a little bit messed up. I have these actually plugged in for the Composer, the Ultra Gain Pro, and then the Composer. So if I want to plug in microphones through here, I can then lead them into these 2 channels. But the thing is, the 2 channels are not really, they don't really function too well. And I'm going to show you one of the knobs, the pan knob. Each and every single channel is a stereo channel, of course, and you do have a pan knob, so you can change, the balance in terms of the soundstage if you want it to be on the left channel, the right channel, strictly. In order for the piano to be balanced, in terms of the levels, I do actually need this to be a little bit to the left. So over time, because of oxidation or something with the contacts in the mixer, there's actually a lot of it's prone to failure. Everything works though. Like the EQ works very well. The faders are actually very, very nice. You also do have a decent headphone amplifier in here. This is the headphone knob to change the volume. Again, apologies that this video is very, very blurry on my phone. But like let's just say, I know that the SM7B has a lot of bass, so we can just roll off the bass a little bit if I wanted to. I can just maybe give myself a little bit of a mid presence, and then I like that airy feeling in a microphone. But you're also going to hear the noise in my room as I increase the highs. So the EQ works very well for what it is. And keep in mind that this is supposed to be a portable mixer, so you can actually plug in, I think they're 6 volt or 9 volt, it's the square batteries. I think it takes 2 of them or 3 of them in the back plate. And you can power this on. It also has phantom power, but it's not for individual channels. It's for every single channel. And you can have the ability to do mixing on the go. You don't need the power supply. The power supply itself, though, is apparently noisy. So with that being said, the connections are prone to failure. You only have line out, which I mean everybody can live with this. And then the power supply on some units, it's an external one. It is an external one, or well, it's internal, but then there's a transformer. It's a little bit noisy. So those are just overall. This is not supposed to be a review. It's just what this mixer is able to offer me at the moment. So we're gonna switch cameras. We're gonna now unbox the Xenyx also. Everything from the chain, from the DBX going into the first channel, which again is like the low noise microphone in, is then being led stereo into both the channels left and right, or 1 and 2 inputs of my Focusrite Scarlett 2i 2/3 Gen. And the gain on these are like 0. So the gain on the mixer, the faders on the Unity, and the gain, mic gain, or the line gain is all the way down. And then we're just shy, a few ticks off of 3 o'clock on the DBX with the processing off, and there's no filters, no nothing. And the microphone itself is also flat, just so that everybody knows what is going on in terms of EQ-wise. Everything's going to be flat. Everything's going to be exactly as it is, with nothing modified. Now we're going to change back here. We're gonna open this. I don't have a knife. I'm just gonna use my trusty keys. So I've really loved having faders. Faders just feel nice. That's just a personal preference of mine. Some people complain about having knobs, and that's understandable. I honestly don't like knobs for level. If I can, I would want to have faders. Another thing that's really interesting about this specific model is that it has built-in effects. So we're gonna see if I need to like use the USB for those effects to work, because that's definitely something that I used to have the Behringer. There's another USB Behringer mixer I had. It was only like 2 Xlr in, and it also had onboard effects. The only thing that sucked about it was that you need it to be plugged in as your interface, and that's typically what these are going to be used as. It's going to be your interface, but I like being complicated and using a lot of gear, which is not a good thing. So we are not going to be using the Yamaha plugged in as an interface, because we're going to pause the video as I plug this in. as I unplug the Behringer mixer later on. First things first, as I open this is the external power adapter. This thing's huge, okay? This thing's huge. And this is a bad boy 3-pin. I watched a little bit of a review on this. I did not recollect any information. So just know that this is not going to be a review where it's like, so informative. Wow, I know everything about this mixer. In terms of just my use case, as long as I have a mute button, as long as it's got phantom power if I need it, and I don't need to fiddle around with the pan knob just to get it balanced on left and right channels. That's really all I care about. We also have here a manual and also download information for Cubase LE. And you can get this on the Apple Store. That's actually very interesting. That's cool. That's cool. So we have this. I'm not going to open this. Try to keep that as thing as possible. Don't even know what words to use. Let me just say that in general, I wanted to make the jump to a mixer from Yamaha for a long time. Apparently the Yamaha mixers are just they're very good. From reviews I've seen. I bet you there's going to be people out there that's going to say otherwise. But I wanted to get a Yamaha mixer to upgrade the setup. Behringer's been doing me very well. Like honestly, for the amount of time that I've had that mixer, it did its job. Let's just say that. It served me well, but at some point I'm going to make an upgrade to something else, and I decided to go Yamaha. There's other companies out there that you can get mixers from. But I was really curious about this one. So, it's got this styrofoam stuff around it just to keep it nice and safe. It's wrapped in this piece of fabric looking material. There's a lot of stuff on my desk. We're going to clear this out of the way. There you go. The mixer's huge, okay? This is a long mixer. I know that this is going to actually go over my piano a little bit, because I don't really have a lot of space for my setup. So the Behringer mixer is like right on the piano. And what's really great is it's not long in length, it's long in width. This looks like around the same width, if not shorter. Shorter. But this thing's long. So if you want to get this mixer, hopefully you're not like me, who's just going to put all his equipment on, on his piano. Let us move the stuff out of the way here. Yeah, so you get the manual, you get the cable. It looks like we don't have a USB cable. I might be wrong, but we don't have a USB cable yet. So probably we need to provide that ourselves. I might be wrong, actually. I wonder if this is actually just a mixer and it is not an interface. Oh yeah, no, I'm not wrong. Okay, good. Wow. Let's just say first thing, okay? As soon as I opened this, I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised at what I'm holding, at what I'm looking at. Yeah, we don't get the cable. That's actually kind of sad. Okay, Yamaha, thanks. So as you can see here, that's the USB 2.0. It's like a printer cable. I am very surprised that they don't give you the cable to plug this into your computer. I guess they assume that you get one or that you have one. Yeah, it's not underneath anything. We're gonna check the box just to see. Tisk tisk, Yamaha. That's not cool. You're lucky your boy's not going to be using it as an interface. So just know that it doesn't come with a cable. So it just comes with this very beefy power supply. You can't unplug anything, it's all together. And we got the mixer here. So we're going to switch cameras again, just so that you can have a better see. I mean, I could take the Brio off, but I'm a little lazy. So we're gonna switch a room to the phone camera. So currently, this mixer has, if I recall, it's a 10 in. It's got 10 inputs. These are all combo jacks. That is something I really like right there. These are combo jacks. That is actually wonderful. We have a what looks like a 26 decibel pad for anything that is very loud. We also have a high pass filter at 80 Hertz. So it's the same thing that's on my DBX. We got line in for left and right for channels 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10. This is an FX on off. I think this is an FX send. Oh no, this is the FX send. Man. We have a monitor out. That's really cool. Designated monitor out. So we also do have stereo out. XLR. That's something that some people will really want is XLR. Again, sorry, the camera is not really that clear. We also got a phone. This is for your headphones. And also we do have line stereo out. This is metal, man. This is amazing. It feels really good. We also got gain knobs here. 2 compressors. Compressors on for the first 2 mic channels. Phantom power, which is not selectable on a per channel basis. This is going to apply phantom power to all 4. We also have, wow, we got high, mids, and lows, and they do actually label what they affect. So the high band for this 3-band EQ, the high is at 10 kilohertz. Then we have 2,500 hertz or 2.5 kilohertz for the mids, and the lows we're going to be looking at modifying 100 hertz. And that is really cool. We do have a high and low for the channels 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9 and 10. So that's really nice. We also do have the effects and the balance, so that's going to be your pan. The red is your pan knobs. We also do have the effects knobs here. That is really, really something. We do have an on-off switch, which is great. You don't even know how happy I am that I have these. Like, I'd always have to turn off the piano. I mean, maybe that makes sense to turn off the piano, but I might have to unplug it or something. That's so nice to have that as a feature on the actual mixer itself. And then we also do have the faders. This PFL, I actually don't know what this PFL is. We'll have to figure that out. But we do have these very smooth faders. Now, the first thing that I noticed was that these things have a lot of wobble. These don't have a lot of wobble. These are very nice and firm, but these are nice and smooth faders. Like, that is some smooth faders. My goodness. We also have a effects return, so that is specifically for the effects return channel. And we do have stereo out as one main fader. So that's really cool. We also do have the onboard effects here. So I'm going to hope that we don't need to plug this in as a USB in order to use the effects. So we're going to figure that out. We're going to see it. Modern phones, this is one knob. And it looks like there's a button that you can change if you want it to be your monitors or if you want it to be your headphones. Which is spectacular. That is actually spectacular. We are using the Scarlett for going to the monitors, so we're not going to need to utilize that. But that is definitely an amazing thing. I believe from watching that review on this unit, this is just super useful. Super awesome to have this. Okay, so we're going to switch cameras. We are going to this is a general rundown of what's on here. We're going to take this mixer and we're going to plug her in. We're going to unplug the Behringer. And you're going to hear hopefully a difference in the audio. I'm not going to change anything EQ-wise. So just like how it is right now on the Behringer, where that mic channel strip is just 0. There's no EQ being applied. There's also no air on the circuit for the Scarlett. And the processing chain is being completely gone. We are going to try out effects. We're going to see if that works. We're also going to see how the compressor works, because the Behringer doesn't have a compressor. It doesn't have a mute button, doesn't have a pad, and it doesn't have a built-in high-pass filter. So that's going to be very interesting to look at. So let's pause this video here. We're gonna come back in just a moment. We're going to be a little bit quiet because there is a lot of gain that this mixer provides. So typically in a case where you're not doing what I'm doing, because we're kind of preamplifying a lot, I'm not too sure if there's the ability to turn off the amplification that is coming from the mixer. Okay, so that is the reason why there's a lot more noise right now, is because there is a humongous amount of gain that this mixer is capable of. So we were at the same mic level on the DBX. We need to be at 30. Around 30, now I can be talking at my normal voice. 30 as in 12 o'clock on the gain knob. I kind of think that we actually need to still increase this just a little bit. How about 45? 45, we're kind of peaking a little. Let's move to just in between. Check 1, 2, check, check, check. Around -6, check, check, check. I think that just 2 ticks off of 12 o'clock. Yeah, 2 ticks off of 12 o'clock at this distance. How about 4 ticks off of 12 o'clock? 4 ticks. 4 ticks, okay? So on the DBX for 4 ticks off of 12 o'clock, we have everything plugged in the same way that we did on this Behringer mixer. Now, keep in mind again, the Behringer mixer does not have a compressor, and it does not have like an on-off switch or muting. I know what the PFL button is. It is a pre-fade listen switch. So if you want to send, because there's an on-off switch per channel, if you want to send it to the monitor, you can. So that's what it was. That is amazing, okay? That is really great. I'm just looking at my levels because, again, this is like the worst case scenario, I think, for doing anything like this. People would just say, get a cloud lifter and then plug in the SM7B into your Scarlett. Or they'll say, plug in the DBX directly into the Scarlett as a line in. Now, the only issue I have is that I do lots of live performance, and I don't have enough inputs because of the hardware I bought. So I plan on upgrading the Focusrite. You can get like the Octo Pre, or you can get like the 18i20. That way you have more inputs. But it's just, I made that mistake. So in terms of my faults, and what I purchased so far in terms of hardware, I'm just working with what I've got. So if you're in the same boat, this video more so applies to you. So let me just say, lots of gain. There's a lot of gain. We're going to put the piano back at where it was at, like around 50%. We're going to turn on the piano. Actually, wait, hold up. I want to see if there's some noise that happens when I turn That's amazing. There's actually no noise. Why did I use that? There's no noise when the switch is activated. That's cool. Normally mute or on off switches, there's going to be like a... I think that was better on the side. There's a popping noise. No popping noise with this. I forgot I had the pad on. I just want to try it. So at 50% when we have the piano on, it's very loud. So if I don't want the pad on, 1, 2, 1, 2. So the amount of gain on that line is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Typically, I want to be able to have dynamics. So when I'm playing piano, for me, I don't know what the right way to do the leveling for a piano, especially for something mono. This is a mono piano, so like the way I've set it up. So if I'm doing this right now, when I'm smashing, I want to be able to just be right at -6 so that we can avoid clipping. We have some headroom. It looks like if I really wanted to do that, the piano just has to be 2 ticks up. Wow, that's a lot of gain. And then I figured this out. If we do have the pad on so you can hear the difference, there's going to be less noise that's coming through the mixer, but also you're going to hear now, you will barely be able to hear the piano. This is the only time if you have the pad on. There it is. That is amazing. So if I want to just max out the volume and then just use a 26 decibel pad, that's an option. That is an option. And I guess I'll experiment. I'll see which one is better. But if I can avoid having to use a pad, I probably will use the pad. And everything's at Unity right now, so that's amazing. Let's turn off the piano. So we're gonna look at all the other features here. So we do have that mic gain, but we're not gonna use it. We have the pad for the microphone. You're not gonna be able to hear me. That's a 26 decibel pad. We have a high pass filter. So the audio quality of the recordings are always going to be compressed by YouTube, so you're probably not going to be able to hear it. But again, everything so far has been the same since we were using the mixer. And that's why this video is long. I just want you to have a lot to work with so you have a good ear for what has changed, hopefully. So now we're going to turn on the 80 Hertz high pass filter on the DBX. Because even though the processing is off, we can do that. So this is the 80 Hertz high pass filter on the Shure SM7B applied right now. We're going to turn it off. And now we're going to use the high pass filter on the mixer. From what I've noticed right away is that it is very noticeable. Very noticeable. Hold up. So they're the same. I think they're the same. To my ears, I think they're the same. Does what it has to do. So if you need to remove You got to remove some low noise rumble above 80 hertz. Again, that's like going to be like when you're moving the microphone and stuff, like on a podcast or on radio. You'd want a cut filter like that. That'd be really good. So it works. A high pass filter works. We got a compressor. So again, the bypass is on right now. We're gonna lift up the compressor very slowly. We're gonna just talk here. We're just gonna see what's going on as we turn the compressor on, and it looks like if I'm far away, we are hitting around 20 to 10 or so, and then this is a max compression, and then we're gonna turn it down. So at this distance, I never reach, well, I reach 10 a little bit, but then at this level, I'm a little bit excited as I'm talking. So with my excited voice, when it's maxed, we are going to be able to reach -6. So the compressor is good. So at this distance, checky, check, 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 check. So the job of the compressor is that as you're further away, it should be able to, pick you up. So that there's not really a lot of difference in volume. So you can get the RE20. You can get the similar effect, not color-wise, but in terms of just volume. You can kind of get away with like an SM7B like this. This microphone's notorious for gain. So you need a lot of gain on this. A compressor, as you can tell right now, it's raising a lot of the noise floor. So I would not use these simple compressors, but comparing it to the compressor, as you can see, if I turn away, you're not going to hear me anymore. That's the wonders of compressors. So I can be further away from the microphone, and it's going to lift up those lower, the sound waves that just have no volume, no amplitude. So that's generally what a compressor is doing. I wouldn't use this. I personally wouldn't use this compressor, but it does sound better than the ones that come with the USB versions of the Behringer mixers. That is a for sure. The noise floor wasn't raised a lot. That is crazy. Again, keep in mind that the mic gain's at 0, okay? So, EQ-wise, let's see here. So again, we have no EQ on the DBX, and there's no air circuit right now on the Scarlett. Let's see what happens when we raise. We're going to try to get those air frequencies, the 10 kilohertz here. Yeah, that's the hiss. That's like my fan. That's like my everything in my room. Let's just turn this back to the middle, and now let's just turn this all the way off. Yeah, so you're going to hear no s. You're going to hear jack. Oh, what would I put this to? Honestly, so that was like all the way to, so the first time we just raised this all the way high, so this is at max. It looks like it's a plus 15 decibel change that this is capable of. And then this is minus 15. Minus 15. We're gonna put this to the right here. Right around there. So this is the second tick. It's 2 ticks off of 12 o'clock. Around 1 to 2 o'clock. How about we're gonna turn this back off. So that I put this at 2 though, personally. How about the mid? So this is going to be affecting 2.5 kilohertz. We're going to turn this all the way off. And there's a lot of bass. There's some highs in there. But you can hear no room hiss. So if I really wanted to, I can probably just turn the mids off a little bit. But there's going to be no body anymore. What happens if we increase this? Wow. That's like... Hello, passengers. This is your captain speaking. I'm going to be flying into a volcano. I don't know. Yeah, okay, so there's your mids. It's working. It looks like it's working. How big are lows? Let's just turn this all the way off. So this is like the equivalent. This is 100 hertz that we're affecting right now. We removed 100 hertz, 15 decibels, negative 15. We're going to put this back up here, and we're going to increase it, and there is just that bass. Oh no. Yeah, no, I don't like that. So, compressor. I honestly think that the compressor at 50%, I mean, there's a lot of noise. Apologies. I can't do anything. This is, again, when we don't have the gate or anything, because this mixer has no gate, it has no expander, no nothing. It's just a simple I forgot what the terminology is, but it's like, it's just a one knob compressor or whatever. It's going to put the attack, it's going to put the, what's it called? It's going to put the attack, the release, the everything into just one knob. So that's why typically these compressors, you don't want to use them. I mean, if noise isn't an issue for you, which is going to be like on a big stage. I forgot I can move away now. Like if it's like on a big stage, that's the only time when you're going to need a compressor like this on a mixer, I would say, for live performance. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Especially if your talent, like me, moves around a lot. I would change the highs. I'd increase this to 2 ticks. I'd also increase the mids by a tick, but then I'm going to remove the bass a little bit. Actually, I'd remove the mids just by 1 tick. So this would be what I would do to EQ. It's probably a little bit aggressive. Let's put 1 tick instead. So 1 tick to the right, on my highs, 1 tick to the left on my mids, 1 tick to the left on the lows, just so that we can get this nice clear sound. A little bit of clarity. I really like highs. I like the highs on a microphone. This microphone, the SM7B, is very, very low, very dark. So I kind of want to lessen or dampen that effect. So there it is. That's the EQ. And then we do have a compressor on right now. So there's the effects. You also have a pan here, because this channel is stereo. So I'm curious, if I go all the way to the left, I'm in your left ear now. I hope I am in your left ear. And if I go to the right, I should be strictly in your right ear right now. That is if it's working. But it looks of it on the Scarlett and on OBS, it's working. And that is very good. Let me just say that comparing it to the Behringer, I didn't do the panning with this in the example earlier on in the video, but that definitely wasn't fun. Sometimes I would still hear volume coming out on the left ear. This is complete ISO, like isolation is, like it's completely just the left or right. That's amazing. Now, effects. I really do not know how the heck this works. Okay? So it looks like we have up to 24 built-in effects. The first effect is Reverb Hall 1. So let's put the parameter to max for now. And we're going to apply it on channel 1. We're going to just turn the fader down on channel 2. Let's see if we get that effect. Doesn't sound like it. Doesn't sound like there's any... Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's any thing happening. There's nothing happening here. What if we go to Reverb Hall 2? Check, check, check. What about... Let's go to the 10th effect. Check, check, check. Nothing. I'm monitoring out of my Scarlett right now to see if anything coming out. I wonder if it's because it has to come with the effects send. That's probably just something I'm just uneducated with, because I have never used effects on a mixer before. I'm going to assume though that we might need to use the USB for that to work, because it looks like I put the parameter right at max and there's nothing going on here. And then I also put the effects knob all the way up and nothing changed. So it would be safe to assume that we can't use onboard effects without the USB, because I'm going to think that it's looking for sending out the effects via the USB. So what if you're just going to hear me in one ear right now, the FX send. We're going to plug that in. You're going to hear, it's going to be lower on the right ear, if I recall. Possibly you're not even going to hear me on the right ear. There it is. So that is the FX send. and the parameter, and there is no changes going on right now. So we put the effect send at neutral. So yeah, so exactly what I was thinking, because effect send actually is supposed to send it to your outboard gear. Like you'll have an outboard gear like this that has effects or processing, and then you'd send it back into the mix. So that's exactly what I was afraid of. So it looks like in terms of using the onboard programmed effects, you can't use them. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I just wanted to see what happens if I did click down the USB button. I don't know what I was expecting. So let's turn this off. Okay, you're not going to hear me on there anymore. Apologies. I'm so sorry. This is going to be a noisy mess. Yeah, so that is sad. So we now know we can't use the effects that are built in on the processing unit without it being plugged into the computer. But what are you getting here? That's a 26 decibel pad. Holy cow. Like if you wanted to record drums, I think you'd be okay. You can record a kick drum with a RE20. And you'd probably have enough gain to power it. We can test that. We can test it. Not a drum, but we can test the SM7B. Let me turn this off. Check 1 2. Oh my god. That's 64 decibels a gain. 64 decibels a gain. So we do need to be close, okay? We're gonna max it out. You know, F it. Let's max it out. Just for you guys. We're gonna turn off the compressor. We're gonna put the EQ back to flat. We have the fader at unity. We're just gonna listen. I mean, again, the Scarlett is gonna have lots of noise, right? But that is amazing. We're back. So around like 2 ticks shy of 100%, and we're able to power an SM7B. And I'm using my excited voice. We're just gonna keep going back. Wow, that is a wait a minute. Check 1 2 check. Excited voice with SM7B. Yeah, that's amazing. So we can just power a mic. We can power this microphone right now with this channel, and we do have compression. And again, keep in mind compression will increase the noise floor because it's also bringing up the amplitude or the volume of those lower, quieter sounds. So wow. Just the basic EQ, I'm just going to apply that again. There it is. So the trade-off, okay? So far, I can't even use the effects. That sucks. From what I've known right now. So far, I can't use the effects on this, live performance-wise, because again, I want to use the Scarlett. But man, the mixer. Again, the whole reason why I have this mixer console is because I want to be capable of individually fine-tuning whatever input that's in here because I don't have other inputs. I could have totally avoided that. I could have just got, myself like an 18i20 or something, you know, like a proper interface that has many lines in or many XLR in. But I would have still had a DBX because I don't want to use plugins or OBS has compression. They add an expander and a gate and ducking and everything. that's all on OBS now. You can actually do a lot of stuff there, and if you have VSTs, if you have plugins, you can use that live. But in terms of like Discord and stuff, I use this stuff for talking online. I use this for my Zoom calls. I use this for recording, again, live performance. So I think that for my use case, this makes sense. We are not testing again when this is plugged in USB, but that's okay. We can do a test though, however, for XLR. We can test that out. We'll unplug everything. But from the sounds of everything, this is amazing. We've been using the same mic. So currently, again, we don't have the DBX plugged in. The DBX is not plugged into the chain right now. The only thing that is powering this microphone is the mixer, and you can hear it. You can hear it. There is no noise at all. Like, that's ridiculous. Well, there's noise. I think I forgot to mention, I have voice meter banana, so this whole time you actually couldn't really hear the noise because of the gate that's on this, because I have a safety gate for everything. So let me just be quiet real quick. So you can hear that underlying hiss. Now, if I turn the compressor off, I'm also going to turn the gain all the way off. Okay, I'm going to raise it again for you guys. So at around 100%, let's put this back to where I had it. So just around, I would say, like, it's like 4 or so ticks off of 100%. That is a very decent level. So this is at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Now keep in mind on the Scarlett, you'd want to plug the SM7B into it. You're gonna need that cranked up all the way, because it doesn't have enough power for this. This has 64. So that makes a lot more sense why we had a lot of such a significant jump in volume, and we had to turn things down and stuff. That makes a lot more sense now. I don't know what else to say. I think so far, hopefully this is enough examples or samples of the mixer. The mixer so far is it sounds really great. I would, however, still use the DBX and have the line in. That is still going to be my solution, because the gate on this is actually pretty decent. The expander and the compressor on this is very good. 48 volt phantom power. It has everything. The DBX 286S is a very good processing unit for the price. It's a good bang for your buck. This mixer, I know mixers don't have gates. I know mixers don't have they don't have de-essers and all that stuff built in. Maybe they do if they're more expensive, but at this price range, I don't think you're not going to find that. So that would be the only thing that I would ever wish for, is a mixer, if it's even just 2 channels, but then it has everything in there. That'd be perfect, because then I can modify the microphone and then modify the instrument, and then if I have lines in, I can put the instrument in there instead of the XLR, and then I can plug in 2 microphones, so I can have like an amped piano and then 2 mics or something. Or if I'm using an acoustic guitar, I can then have that on mic 2 and then the mic on my on the Talent. So it's sounding good. It's pretty promising. I like this. So we're gonna try the condenser. This is a newer NW700. We're gonna try out the phantom power on this. We're just gonna see how that works real quick. So let us mute. course, ideally, you don't want to have the microphone like... Okay, there. Ideally, you don't want to have to turn on the phantom power like that, but I was just curious. We're also going to see the drop-off. So we're using the same cable. I forgot that this cable's running through the mic stand, so I looked like an idiot. The gain's at 0, by the way. And I am like really close to the microphone. If I were to move this further away, we would have to increase the gain. But if your talent is close, or if you're like me where I want to reduce the amount of reflections possible, because like I know that you're supposed to like drive the mic a little bit or drive the preamps, and then you can get coloration and all that cool stuff. But if you're like me and you're in an untreated room, you need to use every technique possible. And one of the techniques to remove reflections, possible reflections, and then also have a clean sound is to be closer to the microphone. It does introduce issues such as plosives, so unless you have very good mic control, which I don't yet, that will be very hard. It'll be very harsh. But it can be prevented. Windscreen pop filter, right? So the gain's at 0, the fader's at unity, and that's phantom power. It's on. But again, it's on for every channel. New microphones are not gonna have an effect like that. Like if you have like a ribbon microphone that's pretty old, then I'm going to assume that if you turn the phantom power on, you're probably gonna kill it. But the SM7B, I've accidentally turned on the microphone phantom power on the DBX when I had this plugged in. I didn't suffer. It's still working fine. So newer microphones are gonna be able to be like, haha, I'm not supposed to be powered. My electrons, no. So yeah, you're fine. Amazing. You can put the decibel pad on this, and then maybe increase the gain. But that might be noisier. But yeah, that's with the pad on. It sounds a little bit bassier. See, this is the reason why I'm kind of like, should I use a pad? I might not want to. I think it might do something to the sound. But yeah, so this is with the same settings, actually, the same EQ but no compression. So let's put the compressor on here. So that's the compressor on at 50%, the same thing I have for the SM7B, and we have the pad on and the microphone gain just a few ticks shy of 12 o'clock. Now we're gonna turn the gain down. We're gonna turn on the pad. Turn off the pad. So now we're back. So this is with the compressor, the EQ, everything's the same. So yeah, no, it sounds good. Phantom power. So let's see what happens. How long does it take for this thing to just turn off? So we're just gonna be talking a little bit, and then bada bing, bada boom. You know, it's gonna be unpowered at some point, and then I'm gonna have no power, and you're not gonna hear me. It's gonna take a while. Oh my God, why? Ooh. So there we're back. Wow. So it's got enough gain in that channel that you don't even need to put this. You don't need to put the gain up for it. And it was the same case for the DBX. The DBX is capable of plus 60. And then this thing's capable of 64. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Okay, yeah, that's really it. I think we'll do like a little sample. We'll sing and play a little bit, just so you can hear how that sounds. But if anything, I'm happy with this. For my use case, just having that button, I'm gonna hope that this lasts. Because again, the thing that sucks when you start to go a little cheaper, like this is cheaper by like literally $100. No, 150 because there was shipping, but this is $150. You can buy this on Amazon, but you have to pay. If you're in Canada, you have to pay for shipping and stuff. But this mixer, it is good enough. I think that if you're comparing these two, the Yamaha MG10XUF is out of this world for my use case. But I'm happy I have it. I am happy I have it, and it's a welcome addition to the equipment I have. The only thing that I would have wished for with this 1002B would have definitely been, because the compressor knob actually goes right there, where my thumb is. Like the USB version of this or the effects version of this, it has that, and I'm surprised that they can't just put that on these models in general, for whatever reason. It's noisy as heck. I know this video is gonna be so noisy for anybody listening, but this is so that you know consistently whether or not I was going through the DBX or this, whatever. So what happens if we turn the gate up, or turn the gate on and have that stuff? Let's put this flat. Let's turn this off. We're gonna plug this back into the DBX. That's a good thing that I had the audacity not to speak yet. Oh my god. Okay. So everything's off. Compressor is off. This is all balanced right now. Turn off the effects. We can't use it anyways. Wait. Effects return. Hold up. Is this gonna be the one? The one? Nah. I just saw the effects return knob, but that's for when the channel's coming back in. I'm so stupid. So yeah, no, you can't use the onboard effects. That sucks. Okay, with the piano plugged in, we got the DBX now. So we're focusing on the DBX. We are going to be monitoring our levels though. Let's turn the processing on. Oh, whoa. Compressor at 2. That was so loud. It's doing its job. That's for sure. Compressor at 2 and 4. That's going to be very different. This is going to be very different for me. But that is... The gate is working. No, it's not. The gate's not even working. Hold up. Check 1, 2. We might need to turn that down. Around here? That is concerning, but that would be the solution. We'll check Audacity for levels and stuff. But if I want to use the DBX, because there is that preamp, there's amplification that's coming twice. So that's something that's really bad about this unit. I know that there's an interface where you can actually plug in like an external amplifier, again, like something like the DBX, and you can actually bypass the amplifier on the microphone. Now, I'm curious actually if we can get away with using the pad in this case, because again, I want to not touch the fader and do this. This is not good. I want the faders to be at 0. So let's see. If we do this, yo, there it is. So, yeah. No, wait. Excited voice. I'm very excited right now. Very excited. Very excited voice. Okay. So, I know that there might be more basses added with the pad. But that's for you guys to hear that. So, this might be a solution. Like, can you hear that? And on Voice Meter Banana right now, we don't have that gate, the safety gate. I have like a safety gate. Wait, what happens if I do the breathing? Let's do the breathing for the gate real quick. So my breaths are still being picked up. So I might still need to use I have like this little gate on Voice Meter Banana. So there it is. I do have a software gate, but I do have a sound gate, like actual gate here. No noise. I can hear my fan. Wow. There it is. And we're driving the preamp properly now. So that is good. That is good. Check 1 2, 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 check 1 2. Yeah, that's what the compressor. So there it is. So there it is. We're gonna open up Audacity. Just we're gonna do a little quick, but check. But there it is. So you have a little sample of what this sounds like. If I am using the DBX and I'm plugging it into the Yamaha mixer, and then that is being led into stereo in, technically on the Scarlett interface, you can get away with using the pad. And spoken word. If I'm just speaking normally, minus 18, speaking normally, very close. And then I'm going to do, what's it called? I'm gonna rock with you. So just under 6. But I had to be close. Little loud. So that's amazing. I had to turn on my headphones. They're a little too loud for me. Wow. So I would think that I'm gonna think here. If I need to, let's say I put the compressor up a little bit more on my DBX, we are going to have more consistent volume. Bang, bang, bang. The compressor's doing its job. So I'm not too worried. So if I'm going to be moving around or something, I can pump up the compressor on the DBX. And I don't need to do that here, because I don't want to do that here. I want it to be flat. But if I need to do some live EQing, we do have the EQ changes that we can make here, which is possible. Okay? It's possible to do live EQing here, because the EQ on DBX is actually kind of insane. But we still have that option with the mixer. So let's turn the EQ down there. That's amazing. We're going to sing and play. I'm not too sure how that's going to sound, but with Unity and the 2 pads and everything off, or everything at 0 right now, That is sounding so promising. I'm always so bad with plosives. So let's just see what happens here.
Tell me your secrets, you just can't keep it straight to yourself and all you know. Complacent to the point that it's too much to take it all in. Oh sister, I blame myself too, 'cause I know you too well. You're the image of a goddess, and I'll say it once, but the sound of your voice says it all. And don't doubt how I feel about you at all, and it's the truth, not a lie at all. The end.
Yeah. No. That's... I am more than happy with that. I am more than happy with that. And that's excited voice right now. If I had water, I bet you it might be a little louder. Yeah. So, to avoid this from sounding too crazy, because that is ultimately what the biggest... that is the biggest problem when you have like an amp and then another amp and then that amp. You have to like keep everything as balanced as possible somehow. But it looks like, thanks to that decibel pad, we have nothing to be worried about. So far. But I'm happy with this. I am. We're going to turn on the air circuit for everything. Let's just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's with the air circuit on the Scarlett. And it's going to have a little bit more better high frequency. I normally would run this, and then I would have the high pass filter on the DBX. And then I would run the compressor at like 5. And then this is like, if I'm doing a podcast or if I'm talking on Discord, I might be less aggressive, maybe around 3 or something. But something like this is like basic EQ. But these are all just amp stuff. It's not me really touching EQ strictly in a sense. So this is amazing. I don't know. I'm a little upset. I'm not as educated as I would hope to know how to really truly get the most out of this mixer and to see what configuration works best. But all I can say is that combo jacks. I think that's something I love about this. Combo jack everything. Combo jack everything. The Scarlett's got combo jacks. This has combo jacks. The DBX, it's got an XLR and a line in. But comparing this upgrade to this is good enough. If you have the money for something that is very, very portable, very cheap, and you want to have something for, like, again, something on the go, this is not that bad of an option. Just know that there is an issue with the battery thing. You won't get full 48 volt phantom power on those lines. And again, the phantom power applies to all the channels. So you will need to do something about that. But in all honesty, this got me through. This served its time. It still functions. It's just the panning thing is the most annoying part. The LEDs, it's got LEDs for the levels. This one has, it's like a, I don't know how to describe it. You know, it looks like one of those levels that are on a very expensive interfaces. The faders. These feel firmer, but they aren't as smooth as these. And I have to say that there's some wobble, and that's concerning. But, oh, that's smooth. You also have peak. You can check if you're peaking. There is a peak or a clip thing on the signal. And the same thing with this. There also is a clip LED. The only thing is it's like obstructed by how tall the knobs are on the mixer. And that's the thing. There's just so many knobs on this. The faders are nice, but I really like how there's that big ass space in between everything. Everything feels great. Build quality, again, there's some parts of this that are plastic. Or I might be wrong. Because that just feels like metal. Everything's metal. Again, there's that on-off switch that is noiseless. Oh my god, that's just great. This is great. There's the pad and also the high-pass filter. Let's turn off the high-pass filter here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's a high-pass filter on the mixer if you want that. Combo jacks, man. And then there's other channels, and I can plug in like on my phone or something in here, play music or other instruments. Man. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. This is doing such a great job. I'm kind of curious if we plug. Man, I don't want to get fingerprints on this. Like, this feels like it's either glass or it feels like just really nice, expensive plastic. If I wanted to, I'm curious if I plug in the mic on one of the other channels. Let's quickly do that, okay? Is that, yeah, that exists. Let's just stick with the line in. We'll stick with the mic line in or preamp. You know what? It works. That is all that I'm happy about. And I still don't need to change any of this. That's the most important thing, is that I don't need to change that. That is what's important. If I can keep it at unity as close as I can, then I'm a happy boy. We'll plug in the RE20. Because I know exactly how much juice this needs to be powered. So we're going to test that out. The microphone is just so heavy. So this is the RE20 plugged in right now in the worst possible form. Yeah, so the RE20, this is still working very well. It looks like I don't need to change anything. There might be stronger compression because this microphone's a little bit more hotter. 1, 2. So normally I would run it like this, but as you can see, it might be a little quiet. It might be a little quiet. So if I just leave the preamp at that, that's good. Man, the RE20 sounds like it sounds like an RE20. There's no difference here. Let's turn off the high pass filter. Also going to turn off the air. So this is just the, just going to make sure everything's, everything's right, pan-wise and everything. Don't want to do you guys dirty and have something completely different. Yeah, it looks like it's working. If I turn off the pad, yeah, that's hot. That is a very hot mic. Oh my god. So until I learn a better solution, right now this is working fine. This is working absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's amazing. There it is. So hopefully this video was, I mean, it's not really a review. It was just a shootout of just like what happens if I plug this into this or have this microphone in. That is ultimately what this whole thing really was. I forgot to turn off the air on the other channel. Yeah, no, it sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. I'm very happy with this. Yeah, consider this model. The one that I really wanted was the MG10XUF. I think that's the, yeah. It has 12 inputs. It's got 2 more XLR in non-combo jacks. Now they're good. They're good. They're good. Okay. They're good mixers. I think that if I were to recommend something that was a little bit more expensive than the Behringer, I would probably suggest this or the MG10XUF, which is the non-fader version. The microphone here is flat too, by the way. This is on the flat setting. Same thing with the SM7B. SM7B was flat. There was no presence boost. There was no low cut filter or high pass filter. The microphones are flat. The DBX right now has processing. Earlier it didn't. Like this is the microphone without processing. We might need to boost it. But man, yeah, the compressor's kind of doing some work here. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say. Nothing else to say about this mixer. This is just gonna stay here on the piano for now. It's not gonna really affect me as a pianist to play. Hopefully I could find a better solution than just slapping it on my keyboard. But yeah, no, it sounds really great. I can't wait to look back at the recordings and just see, also hear the difference myself. This is a very long video. Apologies that this is a very long video, but I think that it was really worth it. Making this, it was really worth it. I am very happy with how this turned out, and I'm also very happy with this mistake because I ordered the wrong mixer. Again, I was supposed to get the MG12. That was the one that I wanted, but then I got the MG10. But it works really well. As much as I can't use the effects, because I think it's because it processes and encodes everything and then it sends it through the USB bus, and that's actually how you get your sound effects. So that explains a lot. But I'm very sad they don't include that cable. That was a very huge that's a huge negative. Again, it's sad that we can't use the effects without it being plugged in USB. I am very much so happy that we have RCA for channels 5, 6, and 7, 8. So we can still plug in this Bluetooth adapter I have. That is amazing. Curious how noisy this is. Let us plug in our Bluetooth or phone. This adapter's not good though. Just know that this adapter's like cheap. Excuse me. Got this so that I can make headphones Bluetooth. I don't know, sounds of things. It's working. Let's see if we play. Oh yeah, we can't play like copyright music. There's something I do have that I could possibly play. That's amazing. Like the buttons feel really great. I'm actually really happy with those buttons. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I really don't know what else to say for this. Like it's working. It works really well. It sounds good. Like just plugging the SM7B directly into the preamp, it sounds good. It's dry. It's dry. Like if you have a tube amp like the Ultra Game Pro or a processing chain like the DBX, there might be some nice stuff you can do to the mic. It's inevitable. But I mean, that is more than enough. You can probably plug in an SM58 in there, an SM57, no problem. No problem. Empower that. I just don't want to get copyright striked. So we're gonna take our time to find a decent song that we can play and not get in trouble for or something. But yeah, no, this is crazy. I'm just stalling at this point. You don't need to watch anymore. You can just stop watching unless you're curious how the frick this channel sounds like when we have this plugged in. Man, do we not have like anything that I can play? Never gonna give you up, man. Selena Gomez. Fly Away. Lydia. Oh, ew. Jordan Lucas. Home. Resonance. Don't stop the music. Man, there's a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff. Yeah, this is cool. I like the mixer. I like the functions. Again, noiseless on-off switches. Fact that you can just pre-fade monitor before sending out. That's amazing. Like that is spectacular. I wonder if like if I'm talking, can you hear that? Yeah, it looks like you can hear it. But at least you can pre-fade monitor what's going on before you turn on the switch, which is nice. That's actually something I wanted to do. So there's a control room without there being like a button that says control room, like you send it in there and stuff. You have like you can solo using terminology from Ableton Live. You can solo each channel, which is nice. Which is nice. I'm still looking for like a song that is that either nobody knows or something that I can probably get away with playing. You know what? We'll play this. Yeah, that sounds amazing. That's great. That is honestly great. Spectacular. So, if I wanted to use my phone, I can plug in my phone into this. It works. Okay. The instrumental was recorded by his name's Zach. The song I wrote that song. So that was amazing. I don't know what to say. I don't think there's any other stuff that I can show about the mixer that's besides the obvious. Yeah, it sounds amazing. We've tried all three mics that I own. The RE20, SM7B, and also the newer 700. Like for a $20 mic, this thing sounds amazing. Wherever you put it into, just letting you guys know if you're looking for a mic. That's another video for another day. The mixer, spectacular. I'm happy with it. You'd be happy with it if you order this, you buy it. It's just again big. Negatives again are just I can't believe that it's huge, but I mean it should be a given. It should be a given that it's gonna be this big. So I should have thought about that. Right? Should have thought about that. On-off switches. Man, it's beautiful. Only thing I'm really sad about is that we don't have that we can't use the effects without it being plugged in USB. These things wobble. It's just I really don't like how that felt the first time I touched these. But when I slid them like that, it feels really good. Oh man. Control room stuff, if you're gonna monitor on these, how would we plug those in actually? I hear nothing, I hear nothing, I hear nothing, I hear something. And these are 80 ohms. Oh god. Oh. These are 80 ohms. And that's live monitoring. Like I can't hear the computer. Keep that in mind. That's why I want to use the Scarlett. Ultimately, that little box is my everything. But I can't monitor. That's me. Okay, good. So I can't monitor my computer unless I plug it into this. Maybe then I can have that. But what's really great is that monitor for phones. It looks like we're not even at. Just know this: to get to where I'm comfortable, like a comfortable level, I have to be at almost 100% on the Scarlett. That's like 80% on the headphone jack, because that can power 200 ohm headphones. This, I think, can power maybe 250. These are 80 ohms. These headphones. These are the DT770 Pros. 80 ohm version. So 80 ohms is pretty strong. That's a very strong. Strong. That's a very high resistance. My ears sound weird. My voice sounds weird. But yeah, so no, that is amazing that around even just 50% of the headphone monitor thing. Wow. Let's see that control room function. Let's just give this a go. So if I click this in. Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Can you hear me though? You can. And you can still hear me too. So that's so cool. So I can't hear. So from the looks of things, if I want to monitor myself still, I need PFL on my mic chan to be on at all times. You are still able to hear me because I have the on switch on, right? The piano, though, we don't have the on switch on. And now I have the PFL on the channel. I can hear myself still, but you can't hear the piano. Amazing. That is a function I've wanted for a long time. Because if I'm in a call with people and I want to practice, because that is a situation I find myself in. If I want to practice and I don't want you hearing it, I can just not have the on switch on. And I can still monitor myself. Now, there it is. That is amazing. Wow. Wow. And now you can't hear it. And now you can hear the piano. Amazing. I'll have that on all the time, actually. I'll put the fader off. No, actually, I'll put the fader on. Why not? Oh my goodness. Wow, so that's the phones. Man, I could have did like a splitter thing and then have it plug into the FX end and you can hear that. That would have been kind of cool. You can't hear the thing, but in my phones, just know that, yeah, I can hear the piano. And that's actually wonderful to notice how much bleed happens from the mic or from your headphones. That's actually a thing that I've wanted to do for a while, was see how much pounding noise comes through by accident when I'm playing too loud. So at least you can monitor that. And again, we're at only 50%. I have a feeling that this mixer can probably power 250. Maybe more resistant headphones. Maybe. I'm not gonna I mean, you can probably search it up. I can probably search it up. You know, like I'm just assuming at this point, but I'm assuming with a very well-educated guess, strictly based off of the fact that I know the Scarlett is only capable, my 2i2 is only capable of 200 ohms, as they've marketed. And when you put the monitor button on, it does dampen everything too, so that's probably why. That's probably why. So if we're speaking strictly about monitoring your sound, I have to be almost at 100% for that to go through. But here, that's actually wonderful at 50%, like right in the middle. Slab dab 50%. That's wonderful stuff. So you can get something like a headphone splitter. I don't have a headphone splitter. I probably could get one. So get maybe if it works. Because you can't monitor unless you plug this in USB, then you can monitor yourself. You can monitor what's going on the computer. If you use this as a designated interface. But maybe it will work. If you get a very good cable, and then you can listen to the Yamaha for monitoring. And then you can listen to desktop audio with the Focusrite. Maybe that way. That could work pretty well. That sounds so tedious. Like, I know it sounds tedious, but if you're in the same situation as me, that's a solution. I know there's like a split of power and resistance in ohms, because if you split the cable and whatever, like, you're not going to get the same amount of sound quality or the same amount of power or the same output. There's a bunch of weird things when you have an audio splitter. But if you really don't care about that, you can get away with it. I'm actually curious. So for me in my ears, let me turn these off. Hold the phone. Wow. Wow. So I just want to hear how noisy the headphone monitor jack is. It's... Ooh, that's too loud in my ears. That's my bad. It's not noisy. The headphone jack on this is pretty noisy. Like even at just like 50%, the phones are loud. They're loud. For monitoring yourself, but they're just not, I don't know. On the Behringer, I just don't like it. It's noisy. The Scarlett's also noisy. It also has a little bit of noise. Even just moving the dial. I can recall it. Like if you move the dial, it's also noisy. It might be a fault with my unit. I'm sadly not under warranty anymore, so that kind of sucks. Noiseless. When I move the monitor knob, it is absolutely noiseless. Oh my god, that's so good. That's a feels good right there. Oh my god. Like, I don't know what else to say right now. I think I've said enough. I mean, I'm kind of expanding on other stuff I haven't touched up on, like the features. I should have like categorized this, but yeah, no. Man. Size. Price to performance. I'm gonna say that the price to performance is good for the amount that this is. It's good. It's doing its job. What's really great too is that there isn't that mix. Like, the thing I don't like about this mixer was that they put those mic pre's. There's these special mic pre's. Xenyx mic preamp. Oh my god, I'm stupid. So for channel 1 and 2, if you hopefully it didn't focus. I saw it didn't focus. But for channels 1 and 2, they say Xenyx mic pre's. And that is the thing again, that it's like ultra quiet, low noise. So as soon as you go past like 9, once you pass 9 o'clock, you start going towards 12. You're gonna hear the noise floor this exponentially come up out of nowhere. It's just like, what the heck happened? And that is also a very bad thing I don't like about this mixer, is that if you want some kind of consistent sound throughout all the preamps, channels 1 and 2 are going to be drastically different from channels 3, 4, and 5, 6. On here, all the channels 1 and 2 are the same. Yeah, channel 3 and 4 don't have compressors. They don't have compressors, but the EQ and everything looks the exact same. And I'm going to probably say it right now that they're going to perform the exact same. So how about we check ourselves before I wreck ourselves? Check. 1, 2, check.
I know there's nothing else to say, but if you think that I can't ever say another thing about this mixer, you're wrong.
You know what? Yeah. There's nothing else I have to say. Like what else is there to say? Yeah, it sounds the same. That's the thing I like, that the consistency. Combo jack everything. If it's hopefully a better solution. Like I don't know if having a designated line or a designated XLR port is better. Which one's better for what? Like, if you need a line, do you want to put it in a line, or do you want to put it in a combo jack? And then same thing for XLR. Do you want to put it in just a strictly XLR, like strictly XLR port, or would you be okay putting it in a combo jack? Like, I don't know professionally if there is a downside to a combo jack, but I have to say versatile, like it's versatile as heck. So I guess only time will tell. The mixer served me well for a good year that I've owned it. But we'll see how this holds up. Man, this video is almost 2 hours. Yeah, we're gonna cut it short here. Check once. Check. We're back. Those frequencies are higher than 80. Anyways, the cable's like pulling my mic. It works. It works fine. Man, I would want to plug. I would want to plug in the Behringer stuff into this as well, like the Composer and the Ultra Gain Pro, just so you can hear it. I mean, I'd want to do that for you guys. So you have an example of a line or an XLR in. when you have a processing chain, I'll do it. Because I want there to be an example like that. Love tonight. Yeah? That's a yeah. There it is. Okay. This is confused. Control room's so new. Like, I love that idea. So, this is with the same microphone, but we're using the Ultra Gain Pro and the Composer Pro XL. This is a tube amplifier, and everything's at unity. I didn't change output gain. Okay, good. Just wanted to do the breath thing. Yeah, I didn't change output gain or anything. The gain is right at, for this microphone, it is right at 3 o'clock. Okay, 3 o'clock on the RE20. And it's going through. It's working. Yeah. Yeah. You don't need the 20 decibel pad. I wonder, because again, I'm probably not educated. That's probably just what it is. But yeah, so we're using the XLR. So from the looks of it, from just my ears, if I am using the line out on the DBX, it is loud. It is loud as heck, and I need the pad. So we do have a cable, which is a balanced or stereo out 1/4-inch jack to XLR. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna see if we get the same outcome. Because I bet you a lot of people have this unit. If you have an SM7B, and you bought a Scarlett, you either have a cloud lifter, a FET head, or you have this. So it's for you guys out there. I just checked it. Yeah, no, that's just because the DBX has so much power, or something. So we used a stereo or a line out into an XLR. We still got the same levels where it's like, I need a decibel pad. So if you are using a DBX, I would say use the pad. Use the pad. Because from what I'm experimenting with, you need the pad. If you are not using the DBX and you're using the Composer Pro XL or the Ultra Gain Pro, and it does have like an XLR out, you can get away with not using the pad. Strictly put, you can get away with not using the pad. You don't need the pad. You don't need the pad. Is there a difference in audio here? From what I can hear, I mean, I'm going to want to believe that using the XLR is better. I'm going to want to believe that. But we were just using a mono cable the entire time. This is a balanced stereo cable out right now. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Well, that's all there is. That's all she said, I guess. We're going to stop the video. I keep kicking Pickering headphones. Okay. Thanks for listening and watching this video. This is long. I'm not going to make timestamps. I'm so lazy. This RE20 is just heavy. If you're going to be thinking, oh, imagine I got a subscriber right now as I was doing this. If a sub, oh, that's cool. I need to die. If you need to change or think of what mixer you're going to go with, if you can just wait, like for Christmas, save up another $150, you can get this mixer. And I mean, it's a little bit more, 300 and some change, you know, like 380 around there. Yeah, this has so much functionality. I love the control room stuff. It's USB, so you might not even need a Scarlett, right? Like, yeah, like that's what people typically will do. They won't do what this idiot did. They'll just buy this, and then use that as the interface with your DAW, with your computer, whatever program. For Zoom calls, for Discord. I wanted a DBX. I do live stuff. I don't want the computer processing anything. That is for me what's important, is that I want there to be, if possible, something hardware based that I don't need to worry about, you know, having the processing done on the computer. I can alleviate the stress. I'd be happy for that. I'd be happy with that. So that's why I have this DBX. And for many people who do have this, and then they're planning on, like, what if I want to have a mixer now? Yeah, to use the DBX, use the pad. If you got the Composer Pro XL and the Ultra Game Pro route, I think it could be just a difference that this is a line out. But I mean, that's also a line out on the DBX, so your boy here is just confused. But it looks like you need the pad if you're using the DBX, and it looks like you don't need the pad if you're using the Behringer route. Both the RE20 and the SM7B were tested, and we also used the newer NW700, just so that people recall what hardware was used. Everything flat, as much as possible throughout this whole thing. And it's only now that we're using the gate so that you guys don't have to listen to the freaking noise anymore. But, yeah, this is amazing. I love the on-off switches. I love the 3-band EQ. Like, it's labeled. Like, it tells you what frequencies it changes. This one is not labeled. I think you have to read the manual and stuff. And I mean, yeah, okay. I'm probably just a lazy fuck. I don't want to read. I don't want to read the manual. But they tell you exactly what frequency is being changed. It is labeled there. It's a very big mixer. RCA channels still here if you need RCA. Lots of line channels, 4 XLRs, channels 1 and 2 have compressors, channels 1 to 4 have pads, and high-pass filters. Basically a control room with these buttons, using the PFL and stuff on the pre-fade listening. Headphone jack, clean. You only start getting noise past 3 o'clock, leading towards 100%. So around 75%, you might start to hear a little bit of noise, and at 100%, it'll be noisy, but it's ridiculous, the noise floor of that headphone jack. When I had the SM7B plugged in. Or was it the RE20? Whatever. just know that the headphone jack on this is good. I'm going to assume, comparing it to the Scarlett's headphone amplifier, that this has probably a little bit more headroom for other headphones if you're a headphone junkie like me and you wanna try out other headphones on this. Yeah, Xlr Out. Huh. That's amazing. I still can't get over that. There's Xlr Out. So you can go to your Xlr monitors, Xlr speakers, Xlr anything, Xlr everything. Huh? So yeah, I can actually plug in an XLR cable instead of using these balanced TRS 1/4 inch to XLR. Yeah, that's the thing that sucks about the setup, because typically you'd want to use line to line when you're using like a mixer or something. So like line to this, and then from this line to the Scarlett. But I just don't have the money to buy all the cables because I spent it all on the hardware. So cables get expensive. So whatever route you're gonna take here, there might be a better route, a less noisier route. Like I bet you that this recording is also very noisy, but in my ears it sounds amazing. I am actually very happy with this. I'm very happy with this. So, thanks for watching. This is a long ass review. It's gonna be so boring to watch, but I think, if anything, I needed to do this because I wanted to cover this. I wanted to cover, at least compare it. I mean, it was still more of an overview how this is working and more of a test thing. Like, oh, does this mic work well with this? You know, like, it was more of that. But I have to say that, in my honest opinion, for my use case, this. That's all I'm gonna say. It's this. I'm gonna unplug the mic. And now we're back with the using the long mono cable. So yeah. Like, man, I just wish I had a solution for this. Because I could definitely imagine that must be really scary to look at right now on my piano. But it works. It works really well. For what I want to use it for, it's going to do me wonders. Thanks for watching. We're going to end this. We're going to end this now.